Wow, I'm really amazed by the accuracy of the EXPLORE platform. Oh, why am I speaking English again? You guys know why. Next up, Yuen Merchant Association Secondary School will tell us what are the chemical constituents of the black carbon in their district. That's really technical, and I would like to hear that. Please.
Why? Testing. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Sunny Chen. They are my teammates, Isaac, Jay, Gigi, and Elvin. We are honored to present our topic about the chemical constituents of black carbon in Yuen. So, what is black carbon? This is black carbon. They come from vehicles and factories. And what is their harmful effects? It decreases our visibility. And they also causes cancer. It means carcinogenic. From the data of the Environmental Protection Department, sodium is the most abundant substance in respiratory suspended particulates, following by chloride. However, this was recorded in the Hong Kong Observatory. This data is not for Yuen. So, how about Yuen? The sodium is the most abundant substance in the black carbon in Yuen.
So, before I talk about my observations, I would like to define the meaning of the RGB value. RGB value reflect the color of red, green, and blue color. R stands for red, G stands for green, and B stands for blue. So according to the RGB value, we have found that the value of red is higher than that of green and blue. From our knowledge, carbon should be black in color. It should not contain any red color. So our question is that, is there any other chemicals? Moreover, lead compounds are red. Is lead present in black carbon? Therefore, the objective of our study includes verifying the EPD data, investigating if there are any hazardous chemicals, and lastly, if there are any, we need to design a portable device to determine that or those hazardous chemicals.
The first test we have done was the flame test, in order to test for the presence of sodium. First, dip the platinum wire into concentrated hydrochloric acid, then dip the sample. Finally, heat it under the non-luminous flame to observe the color. When there is sodium, we can observe a golden yellow flame. In our study, we could obtain positive results. Therefore, the black carbon we obtained contained sodium. The second test we have done was a test for chloride. Concentrated nitric acid and silver nitrate solution was added into the sample. When there is chloride, we can observe white precipitate. However, we could not have any observable changes. Lastly, we have tested for the presence of lead. We add potassium chromate solution into the sample. Our expected result is yellow precipitate. However, apart from yellow precipitate, brown precipitate was also formed. You may wonder why there were two types of precipitate. Therefore, another chemical test is used to further identify the chemicals.
Another chemical test for testing lead is adding potassium iodide. Our expected result is yellow precipitate. However, there is no observable change in our example. You may wonder why sodium is present, but not chloride. It is because the test of sodium, that is a flame test. It's a physical test, but the test of chloride is a chemical test. The sensitivity of a flame test is higher than that of a chemical test. So how about lead? In method 1, the brown precipitate was silver chromate, not lead chromate. The yellow precipitate was dried potassium chromate, not lead chromate. Therefore, it's just a beautiful misunderstanding.
In method 2, there are no yellow precipitate. Does it mean that there is no lead? I cannot say yes or no, but I can give out two conclusions. Conclusion 1, there is no lead. Conclusion 2, there is lead, but the amount of lead is lower than our detection limit. Although the amount of lead detected is not that much, we can detect from the potential source of lead. For instance, if there are leaded petrol in cars, we can detect it directly by using a lead detector designed by us. The photo is the longitudinal section of the lead detector. This end is connected to the car exhaust pipe. When the car exhaust comes out from the car, we can collect the black carbon. If there is lead, it will stain to the filter paper yellow, and we can observe it at the other end of detector. But this is a prototype only. If you have any questions or recommendations about that, please feel free to ask in the Q&A section. Lastly, here comes the conclusion. There is sodium present. However, both chloride and lead cannot be determined above our detection limit. We have designed a prototype of lead detector, but we haven't tested for it. This is the end of our presentation. Thank you for your attention.
So is there any question from the audience? Professor Lau seems to have some question.
Factories and
Sorry. The sodium comes from the coastal wind. The sodium chloride in the sea. We will observe it from the appearance of in how much time it needs to produce a golden yellow flame. When there is more sodium, the golden yellow flame will appear faster.
What a great job. It's really an innovative invention, and I would like to see when it's produced. You guys should you guys should study in the university, and I should go back to secondary school because I don't know all of this.